How's it going, everybody? Airsoft Spitfire here. I'm actually going to go through all the guns I have today. This is actually one of the first actual uploads that I'm going to do in this kind of format. I am going to make a little bit of a series on stuff that you might do if you're a brand new airsofter and stuff like that. But anyway, we're going to start off with the first ever airsoft guns I've had. If you've seen the shorts, you might recognise some of them. First on the list is in fact this PMM or Makarov looking gun. I can't tell you what it is. It's full metal construction. I bought it when I was about 13 from a market in my local town. Alongside that, my sister got herself a Glock Mini. These are incredibly fun, but I said you've got no room for your little pinky to be on. But when you're 13, you can pretty much get your hand all the way around it. And my mate Matt bought one of these, which is, I imagine, based off of like what the high cappers are and all that lot. Obviously, these are all Springers, all brightly coloured. We bought them all, I think they're about 20 quid each when we bought them back in, like, I don't know, 2012, I guess. But yeah, they are all of the first airsoft guns that I acquired, I should say. Next gun is, in fact, the one that I won at bingo. This one I won pretty much the same kind of era. This gun is full polymer, all that lot. I don't know why this one has a mag in it. There's only one gun that should have a mag in it, and it is not this one. I say that as literally all the guns I've shown so far. I guess the spring ones don't really matter that they have mags in, because you know you actually have to cock them to be able to fire them. I don't tend to leave mags in them. I don't know why this one has its mag in it. It must have been a little while, probably since I'd done that last shot. I probably left it in there by accident. Hasn't got any bullets in anyway. Anyway, so yeah, that one is a Gold Eagle, Double Eagle even, not Gold Eagle. Double Eagle M41. It's actually alright, this one is. I quite enjoyed it. It was more powerful than the pistols. The next weapon is actually, I got this off of a good friend of mine. This is, in fact, a Glock 19 that I got a long time ago. Problem with it is that the slide sticks a fair bit. So if you're like if you've got half the gas left, that will, in fact, not slide as easy as it should. I've tried greasing it and everything else. I've got to try and figure out how to make this thing slide better. I don't think it's Glock licensed, because Glock only allowed their guns to be licensed after like 2018 or something. I had this in 2016, so I don't actually know the manufacturer of this gun, but I'm pretty sure it's not actually fully licensed. Although it has got an issue number and all that lot on. So it might be, but there again, it might not be as well. So there's that. Next on the list of things that I bought was, in fact, my first ever electric airsoft gun. This is an AK-47U. Used to have a foldable stock that used to go around it. Funny enough, that has in fact fell off in the years. This thing has actually been through the wars. The top rail is broken. That's why it's got this nice little tape around it. I only ever took this to one airsoft game. And that was my first ever airsoft game that I took it to. It fired just about on the limit, which is great. And the motor started giving out about halfway through. But you know, that's fine. It still works, surprisingly enough. I will go into more details, reviews, stuff like that about the guns in a different video. This is just a collections video. So yeah, the next gun that I got was, actually it's this one. This is after I played my 3 games with, in fact, a rental, because I hadn't actually I used that gun for one place, and then I went and played somewhere else that was a lot closer to home, because me being dumb and not realizing how close one actually was. Yeah, but this is a Jingjong, J&G org. And this is actually, I use this a lot. I used this for nearly a whole year before retiring it, because its gearbox was starting to sound a little bit rough, and I need to take it apart and give it some maintenance. And I just never did, because, well, I couldn't be asked with it anymore. It's like, it hasn't got single fire. You have to press the trigger half to do a single shot, and then you have to pull it all the way down to do a full shot. The safety on it is literally a bar that falls out, which is fantastic. You can imagine how many times I've lost that. So yeah, that's my AUG that I have, and also my first actual airsoft weapon that I actually used for a long time. The next weapon was actually another pistol. Because that slider on the Glock was failing me constantly, I wasn't being able to rely on it. So I decided that gas weapons weren't good at that moment in time, and my electric AUG was fantastic. So naturally I went out and got myself a M1911 CM, the electric one. I think the CM123, maybe 124 or something like that. Fully construction build, no sliding mechanics at all on it. Fully electric, and actually a load of fun just for close quarters. Bop, bop. It has full auto, which always surprises everyone it comes into contact with. Next gun. Next gun is this one. My used and abused Pain Train Cyma CM355. I would like to say this one is. Just off the top of my head. I haven't actually got a piece of paper that tells me that it is. I'm pretty sure this one's being discontinued by now. I spent about 90 quid on this long barrel shotgun. This is the one that, if you follow me on Instagram will be in the description. You will see me most of the time holding like this, because it looks cool. Anyway, moving on. Next one must be this one, actually. This one is my M4. Now, finally I talked some sense into myself, okay, and I got myself an M4 platform. This was about 2 years into me playing Airsoft, okay. I finally got myself an M4 because the AUG was failing, like it had been since I'd bought it, and I needed something else. So I got myself an M4 platform. This is obviously been a little bit modified and everything else, but originally this one was this is a sabotage body. Wait, this is the older one. Okay, does anyone come before that? I think one does actually. Wait a sec. This guy comes before it. I won this at Rift Airsoft. My first ever game at Rift Airsoft. I was in Comsite 3. I'd gone for the raffle and I won a Combat Master, and Lance Tactical Combat Master, and I was absolutely loving it. My mate, who I was playing with at the time, who had been there about 6 or 7 times, didn't love it that much. So this is 2018 at this stage, by the way. This is 2 years after I started playing Airsoft. I know that because I've got pictures of it. Next on the list is, of course, the M4 when I finally saw sense, because every other one of my weapons was falling apart. This one has been used and abused. This one came from Sabotage itself. When Sabotage closed down, I bought this gun off the actual people. This is, of course, the rental. I then swapped it with the older one of my... I swapped the newer M4 that I had with the internals for the newer one that I had with this one, so that it would still fire up to their standard with the other one that I have, which is the old engine for this one, currently sitting in a box half to pieces because I rounded off a screw in the bottom. Fantastic. Hello, lady. Are we having a dog break, are we? Hello. Hello, you come to see all my airsoft guns, have you? Yeah? No, you couldn't be interested, could you? Next gun on the list, I would say, would be... Yeah. No, not you. Next gun on the list is, in fact, this boy right here. This is my LMG. You can see it because, you know, LMG sticker. I bought this thing back in 2018, just at the end of 2018, and I must say, worst financial decision I have ever made. I've taken it to 3 games. It has not performed in any of those 3 games properly, and I've ended up taking it apart more times than I can remember. The feeding issue it has is a pain in my arse. I've had to wrap tape around the barrel to hold it to the outer barrel, because otherwise it just floats there and stops the gun from being able to feed. The mag doesn't sit in there properly. It wants M4 mags, but it doesn't want its own mag, which is great. So I just tend to keep that one just in there and take the batteries out of the gun and also the battery out of the magazine, so it cannot possibly feed. I've had this apart more times in a game than I can say with any other gun that I have, and it is a pain in my ass all round. Anyway, moving that one out to the side. Yes, I know, dog. I know, lady. Calm down. Next gun, next gun, next gun, next gun, next gun. What was my next... Ah, it was the pistol that I was about to show. This here gun I got off one of my neighbours. When he first showed up, he was like, oh, would you like this gun that I don't know what I can do with it? It hasn't got a mag or anything like that. It is gas powered, but I currently can't find any more YMP mags for it. So that is grand. It's not that great a gun anyway, as far as I can tell. I don't know how much FPS it fires, because funny enough, I can't get an actual chrono reading because I don't have a magazine properly for it. So, fantastico. Moving on, our next weapon would be my sniper platform, I guess, looking at what I've got left. Well, next one that I've got is in fact my sniper platform. This one was, I'm going to put the name of every weapon in the bottom corner, just in case I do get them wrong, except for the ones I don't know. I'll just leave a question mark there. So this is quite a nice one. It's got its pullback obviously and safety up here. It's actually a nice shot, this one is. The only problem that I have with this gun is the magazine sits here, and the only bit of rail you've got at the bottom is here. So if you want to put a bipod on it, you actually just can't. You just cannot do it, because you put a bipod there and then you can't actually access the magazine easily. The magazine releases on the mags itself, so that's absolutely fine. It's a little slide and then they pop out. But yeah, that's my one quarry with this sniper, is that it's not got the room. The magazine is just way too far forward. Next on the things that I bought was this Mach 11. This is a gas powered Mach 11, CO2 powered. Normally it would have a massive magazine out to here. Extendable mat things you can go in. It's single shot only. It's not anything like fancy or anything. I've had it apart and had a look at it to see what I could do with the thing, because it actually fires a little bit warm, which has caused me to buy a adaptable CO2 canister, which allows me to put green gas in it, which then makes it shoot ridiculously low, but with black gas and stuff like that, I can get it shooting about where it needs to be, which is fine. Next weapon on my list of weapons that I bought would be, we're in last year already, me, I bought a lot of weapons this year, would be this one. Now, this one I bought off a colleague at work. He said, put green gas in it. It's the only way it is actually able to be site legal. This is a CO2 or green gas DMR. Now, luckily I go to a site which allows DMRs to be up to 500 FPS as long as you fire them respectfully. Now, with this, I can obviously use the CO2 and fire respectfully and actually do well with it. There will be gameplay of this because I absolutely love this rifle. And I will be taking it to Rift Airsoft's weekend, because I'm going to that. Next on my things I've bought list, I guess I'm going with for this one, is in fact my hater. Currently has flashlight on it because I'm a narcissist, I guess. I don't know. CO2 construction, everything else is great. It's a fantastic weapon. I use it all the time as my secondary because CO2 is just reliable for me. I don't know why. Just CO2 guns are reliable. So I use this as my secondary most of the time. It also is fun to play Russian roulette with. The only quarry I have with it is it has little tiny discs. that hold it like together, that go in there. Really easy to lose. You throw them in a dump pouch, something like that, they are gone for good. And that is just a fact with them. Next gun that I bought would be, the next gun that I bought, in fact, was not bought by me. I know, incredible. I say this because he decided to buy one before I decided to buy the other. This, in fact, is my friend Jansen's AK-47. Now, he came over to the UK for a weekend. This motherfucker came to the UK for a weekend and ended up buying himself an AK. This thing fires a little tiny bit hot. So, I put a bipod on it so I can get away with it being a support gun. That is how I've solved it until it eventually calms the fuck down. This one will be coming with me to Rift. Again, Rift's weekend. Because it's fun to use. I can't imagine me using it though. Because I imagine it'll be too warm still. I will try and get it to cool down a little bit though. The next one on the list is in fact my bad purchase, or my decision to buy. I bought myself... Why does this always come off? It just lives off. I bought myself a UMP. Me and Jansen both wanted guns that came from CSGO. I got the UMP, he got the AK. The UMP is actually one of my favourite guns, okay? I actually love this gun. It fires slightly under what you'd expect it to, but it's designed for close quarters, and by God does it do close quarters really well. Now, obviously, it feels good in the shoulder too. I actually really love this gun. This gun is fantastic. That's why it's got most of my attachments on it currently. That's that gun. And now we're getting down to our last couple, which is fantastic. Did I buy that gun or that gun first? It would be this one. Next one is probably the last time I went airsofting. No, second to last time I went airsofting. I decided to pick up myself a gas gun, finally. And I picked it up in the form of the exact same gun that I started with. I picked up a G36C, which is the exact same platform as the very first rifle I ever started with. It's, to be fair, really comfortable in the hands. I love this gun so much. I love the platform itself. I wish I had more of them. Then I bought these three guns all together off a mate from work. So these next three I bought at the exact same time. I spent a fair bit of money on all of them. First one is in fact the lovely, I think that's, is this HNK? I can't remember what this one is. Fuck. Umbrellas? This one. I could have sworn this is a HNK, isn't it? Yeah, this is a HNK. I don't know why I thought it would be anything else. This is a HNK MP5. MP5D, should I say. I don't know why I thought it was something else, but it is. It's the MP5D. And this is a brand new weapon to me, and I absolutely love it already because it's weighty, it feels like it's metal construction all round, which most of mine aren't, to be fair. Most of mine have a polymer build on the round there, but I can feel right now that this is cold as if it's metal. So, although it does seem like it's polymer. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is polymer. Maybe it's just cold. It feels like it's more metal-y than it should be. Yeah, but this is actually a fantastic weapon. I've shot it a couple of times now. Only gripe with this thing is how to get the battery in, because it's actually a pain. But probably one that's going Rift with me. And I will have gameplay of that. Hopefully, as long as my camera survives. Oh! How could I forget? How did I forget? Before I bought those three, I did a short on this particular pistol. Remember? This is in fact that pistol. I still haven't taken it with me. It will be coming to the weekend for fun, because I will try and chrono it to see, just for them to laugh at me while I try and chrono this stupid little tiny pistol. Anyway, back to the three guns that I bought in unison. The next one on my list is in fact the M16. I'm trying to figure out what gun this is. This one is, in fact, is this one Lancer? I can't remember. I think this one's Lancer Tactical, but I'm not seeing any name or any signing on it from them, which is annoying, because that means I'm going to have to look to see what the box is, which is upstairs. Yep, so we've got the M16 that I bought at the same time as that MP5, and also the next gun. Fantastic weapon, nice build. I said the only thing, because it's an M16, you have no railing space or anything like that. This thing will be coming with me to Rift Airsoft weekend though, because I love doing this shit. I will be taking a load of guns to Airsoft Rifty free Airsoft weekend, because I always do. I take loads of guns with me, have a blast, chrono them all, have fun, you know, all that good shit. Anyway, my next gun, in fact, is a project. Because supposedly it didn't fire, and I bought it and I've shot it since then, so I don't know. And it is in fact a Scar L. Now, I have no idea who this is from or anything. I just don't even know the brand or anything like this. I couldn't even tell you what it is because I didn't even get a box for it. It came in a bin bag and it was told me it's broken, it don't fire, do what you want with it. So in that respect, I have so far done, I've shot it, realised it did fire and go, oh, that's interesting, it has no single shot. That's the only problem that I've so far found. But I imagine there is heaps of more problems waiting for me down the line with this weapon. So I will be doing a review on every single weapon I have, one after the other, etc, and all that kind of stuff. So stay tuned for that kind of stuff where I actually explain the weapons in more detail, give you more stories and stuff like that with each one. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next video or short that I make. Goodbye.